Hi, my name is Annette Fletcher, and this is the Wear Your Crown speaker series entitled Walking into Your Queendom, where we share a phenomenal array of queens. They are sharing what they do, why they do it, why it's important, and how you can connect with them. So here we are building a queendom of women that we hope that you will continue to support, like, share, and follow and learn from in the process. Today, we have none other than Bertrille Williams. Oh my gosh. You guys, I'm gonna let her do her own intro. How are you, Miss Bertrille?
I am wonderful, and thank you for allowing me to come to be a part of this blessed platform. My name is Bertrille Williams. I am a first-time author. Just recently released my book, Birth Out of Darkness. I am all things women. I'm all about empowering women, making sure that we straighten each other's crown. I am an encourager. I am my sister's keeper, and I will cut the enemy to the white meat for my sisters. So I'm all things about empowering my sisters in queendom. So that's me.
Just describe the whole queendom. That is what we are about, especially in this season. I think it's so important for us to support one another. Now, I've seen your book on a number of platforms, but how did you even start? Like, what prompted you to even start writing your book?
Well, Birth Out of Darkness was 10 years in the making, but it was for the grace of God that through quarantine that he had to sit me still, and I had to really literally be obedient in what it was that God called me to do. So Birth Out of Darkness is what I like to call my shifting moments in my life that made me who I am as a woman of God. So I talk about some of my traumatic experiences that put me in a place of darkness, but out of that dark place, ministry was birthed. And so I wanted to share and be transparent with my other sisters and brothers as well, to let you know that you can birth something in a time of darkness, that you don't have to allow what happened to you to put you in bondage, but you could take that same device that the enemy try to kill you with and go on there and bust his camp to pieces based on the fact that you survived. So yes, that's where Birth Out of Darkness came from. And I am so thankful for every experience that I went through. I wouldn't change a thing because it birthed ministry.
Girl, you over here like, Lord, you know it's Sunday today, and I'm just like, did she just give me a word real quick?
Yes, you got to birth things out of those dark places. And the one thing about transparency, you know, I wanted to 1 Peter 5:10. And the God of all grace, who called you to his eternal glory in Christ, after you have suffered a little while, will himself restore you and make you strong, firm, and steadfast. So when you're in a place of darkness and it don't seem like you have no hope, God himself will come in and let you know that not only would I bring you out of darkness, but I'm going to restore you, make you strong, and put you on a firm foundation so that other people can, you know, really understand that they're not by themselves, and that if God can do that for her, I know God can do that for me.
Yes, yes, yes. Which is, oh my goodness. What, I don't know if you know that I won 2 pageants. I competed in 3, but I only actually placed in 2. And when I competed, my family and friends was like, you got all these crazy looking pictures up on your page. And I'm like, because that's me. I do crazy
Right.
stuff. I'm loud. I have moments. And I was like, but I don't want other women, queens, the young girls, the young queens that are looking to say, oh, I wish I could do that, but
right,
it's like too much. Like she got this and she got that and she does that. No, I want you to see me in Little Delaware when I look good. I want you to see me in Little Delaware when I don't look good.
right.
me when I'm having those breakdowns and I'm fussing at the people for the parking and give me a ticket that I know I can't pay for right now, which means it's going to end up being $60 by the time I have the money to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, oh my gosh, I go through the same thing. Oh my gosh, I was also struggling with bills. Oh my gosh, I was in that line to get food too.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Like there is no shame in reaching out and asking for support or encouragement. And we've developed this stigma that we've placed on our girls where we are so strong we don't need any
Yes.
body. And that's not okay. And that's not true. We had support. Now back in the day we had huge families. And your family supported, your grandmom supported, your mom supported. You know, they were there and present. But now it's a new season. We all need to be present. We all need to be here supporting one another and encouraging one another and sharing our authentic story, because we didn't get without a story. We didn't get here without, you know, people used to talk about me being Black. Like I hated being Black. They was like, you Black. You like a tar baby, you did.
It's beautiful though.
I was like, I'm Black, like I'm so Black. And then I went down south to North Carolina to Johnson C. Smith, and people were like, oh my gosh, your complexion. And I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And they got to Florida and was like, oh, I'm shocked and I'm cute. But it's still a journey. And I think this is important to share all of the good and the bad. So that because so many of us just lie and make it look so easy.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And when you talk to them, they're like, oh yeah, it was just, or they're like, girl, you can do it yourself. It was easy. You can do it yourself, but it wasn't easy.
Yeah, because a lot of times we leave out the process of how we got there. And so we want women to glean hope from us, but we don't want to tell our story. We want to give you the part where now I'm cleaned up. But what about when you was in the pit? How did you get out of the pit? What was the process? Because we pass our sisters screaming every single day, and we hear that cry of help, I need hope. And because I don't want to be, embarrassed about what I went through, because that was some of the commentary that I got. Girl, I don't see how you did that. I wouldn't have been able to tell that. But when you have been delivered and set free, then can't nobody tell my story like I can tell my story. And so it's like, I wanted to be able to be transparent enough that women can say, okay, you know what? She's a believable testimony, because now she's not telling me how she got on the glory side. She's telling me about her story and what she went through. And because of the transparency, I want people to find themselves on the pages, because everybody's story relates and cross paths at some point. It may not be that your trauma is my trauma, but you have experienced trauma. And so we have to learn how to heal through that process. And you can't do that if you're not willing to open your mouth.
Well, so, I'm gonna sit up and cut it.
Yeah, that's why when you ask me what's one of my favorite quotes, and that's one of the things that I got through it, there's power in your pain. Oftentimes we focus on the pain, but we don't realize that if you allow the process to heal, there's power in what you went through. So the next time you see somebody else getting ready to get injured in that same vein, you can be like, you can either help rescue them, you can help them avoid it, or you can help them through the process of healing, because you have experienced that. You can't fight something you ain't never been in a battle with.
Yeah.
You can't do it. You can't come and tell me how to be a survivor of rape or domestic violence if you ain't experienced it. But when you have gone through the same thing, that you can see that thing ahead of time because you recognize it, because you wrestled with it. And so now you can tell that sister, you know what, I went through that. Or you could tell her, look, you don't have to go through that because I sacrificed myself for you for it. So we don't want to be the sacrificial lamb so that other people can live. Right.
You are so right. That, oh my gosh. Girl. I so like, girl, that first of all, now before I was like, oh, I got an author who's going to be on. Oh, this is cool. This is exciting.
Yes.
He was coming with a word like this.
God knew. He ordained this whole thing, because I'm gonna tell you how I got the information about you. Somebody else follows you on Instagram, and they saw your TikTok promoting, asking for women to come on, and they tagged me in it and said that this would be a great opportunity for you. This will be a nice platform. Check her out. And so when I saw your TikTok, I didn't have to go see your page, because I saw what you said without you saying it. And so I said, okay, when I said it, I said, I didn't expect you to do it that quick, but okay. Also ready.
I don't, you know, I have always, I love women. We are so amazing. My mom, like, I lost her in 2001. And you don't really know what you got until you don't have it. And she was like amazing. Like, even some, like, we've always had, there are 10 of us. We have never gone without. And if there was something that we needed or we wanted, she was selling dinners, selling stuff, sales to make sure we had it. And we took it. I feel like we kind of took it for granted, because we didn't know the hustle that she was going through with all 10 of us to make sure we had. And if she couldn't provide it, or, it was like too much, she was like, you need to work. If that's something you want, I'm here to close you, basically. But if there's something extra, you need to start working. So we was like, okay, I want to be able to go on this trip, or I want to be able to do this. I need to work, and I need to save and prepare for that. But she would support, like, other people. And I'm like, how you the people we don't even, I just asked you for ice cream, and you said no, but you want to give this lady money? That was more than enough for just not. And she would say, there's a blessing in giving, and I know we're gonna get it back, and I know it's going to be okay. And I was like, my mom crazy. Like, she crazy. She does get. I don't like it. It did not sink in. And when she passed, like, some of the habits that your parents do, you automatically do. You can't help it. Yes. And I worked for the Delaware Commission for Women in the day, and when they were coming up, there were 3 minority women running that office like it was 50. Host these events, take our daughters to work. They had the Hall of Fame for Delaware women. They were doing, like, all these other little projects. What is it? Purses to portfolios. Like, let's get our money right. Let's start preparing for this. People weren't even talking about it. But 9 years ago was like, we have to support our women. Like, we are out here. We have single mothers out here struggling. We need to make sure that there's a voice for them, that we are calling out to them, that we are supporting them through these programs, through these workshops. And, I don't have any kids. So I was like, okay, I hear you. I was saying the same thing. This is the director, Ramona, was saying the same thing. We need, if they have, before they were like, when you have kids, you have to go back to work immediately. We have to start advocating for this and for that. And it's like, okay, we need help. And the calls that we got, like, I was just getting out of college, and I'm getting these calls from women for a pro se divorce seminar. Some of them are 70, have never paid a bill ever. And they're like, but he's leaving me. Like, what do I do? And I'm like, we do have a pro se divorce seminar that you can come. But I'm like, why would he leave her at 70? Like, you have to stay calm when you're on the phone conversation, right? But when some of these women had me in tears, like, what is happening? Why is this happening? So for me, listening to some of these stories, some of these women who have struggled, and some of the women who authentically share their story and how impactful that has been to other women, to say, you know what, I've struggled with that, or hear them connect to say, I am so grateful that you guys have offered this service. This has empowered me. This has inspired me. This is me, and I'm gonna encourage other people to do the same. Like, that piece has been, I feel like, stuck with me for years. I don't have it all together. My mother did not have it all together, but we had it together.
No,
So
none of us, none of us have it all together, but we attract what we put out.
yes.
So when I say that, that's either negative or positive. People are attracted to you based on what you are ordained to give to them. We might not always, we shy from the responsibility of it because of the accountability, but people are attracted to what God has gifted you to do. So when you have women coming out of the woodwork and doing all these things and coming to you and being transparent, it's because they feel a safe zone with you. And it's not just with the women, it's men too, because we are Deborahs in the Bible. Deborah led men when she wasn't supposed to. And so when we're in the position where we yield ourselves and say, okay, God, here I am, use me, we have to be prepared to be used. And when he comes and says, okay, I want to use you, you be like, wait a minute, I won't serious about that. I'll say maybe, but when you get a full yes in your spirit, that everything is going to start attracting to you. Because as you was talking, and like I said, I mentioned how I was able to find you on this platform. When you said you had been doing this for 4 years, okay, you're going into grace, which is 5. Grace is going to open up the doors of opportunity that you weren't prepared for because you have been consistent and obedient in what it was that God called you to do, that God himself now is going to come in and do the restoration. He's going to do everything that you need because you really have been, and I wasn't coming up here for this, but I got to be obedient. But you really have not fully yielded to the gift that's in you. And that's because of we sit up here and we say, God, who am I that I'm going to be able to do this? And he said, why not? Because he said, who he called, he equips. He has already equipped you for this platform. And this platform is about to explode for you. So get ready, because yes, women are watching you. Young women are watching you. Men are watching you because of the consistency in your gift. God is getting ready to enlarge your territory. So you have to be obedient in everything that he has told you to do. You have to do it. Whether it's uncomfortable or not, it doesn't matter what man said, because man can't open the doors that he's getting ready to open for you. So I am honored and I am humbled to be a part of what God is getting ready to do, because when you blow up and we're sitting up there on Oprah, I'm going to say, I remember talking to that lady from Delaware, because he's getting ready to open up some doors. Because this is an open door season for us. And in quarantine, that's why I tell people, birth something in this time period where it seems like there's no life, when it seems like everything is closing down. This is an opportunity for you to birth something. Don't come out of this thing empty-handed. If anything, turn the fire up, because there's more for you to do. So yeah, I'm sorry.
We just had the Women of Fellowship yesterday. And I went just to really do the video and to model some shawls for Miss Selby. And I was like, okay. And I'm sitting there and I'm packing up my stuff because we're finished. And Dr. J was closing out with a prayer, which she always does. I guess in her prayer, she started praying for somebody else's health and wellness. And we had the pleasure of having our councilwoman present, 4th District Councilwoman Michelle Hartley. And, out of respect, when somebody pray, you just stop,
Right.
I stopped packing and I was looking at some stuff on my phone and I was like, okay, she typically do a little something. They went in there and blew up the spot on a Saturday afternoon.
Yes.
I was like, oh my gosh, are we in here to have church? And I just breathed. And then somebody came and laid hands. I was like, Lord, what is going on? And not for nothing, they spoke like the same thing. And I am like, who am I? I'm Annette. I don't always do no face nothing. I don't always do no hair nothing. I have no problem with my wig, because if you don't know me, my hair is my hair is my hair is my hair. Like, it is what it is. Like, I don't know what to tell you. If you don't like it, you think, because I talk to people and they're like, you should probably clean that up. Like, that picture you don't really look nice in. Like, why didn't you put your hair? Why didn't you add a wig? And I'd be like, because I didn't want to. That's not how I'm feeling. That's not where I'm at. Like, I'm not one to pretend that I got something when I don't. struggling in these streets. I do what I can when I can, and I like to support women, and I want to be obtainable. I want people to say, "You did that. I can do that." Yes, and
Mm-hmm.
and a perfect example is I got invited to a casting call, and I told other people, like, casting call, and somebody was like, "Why? What? That was for you. Like, this is like you're going to get paid for this if they pick you, but you just told all these other people. So if they don't pick you, they're going to get paid." And I'm like, "Okay."
Mm-hmm.
They were mad. Why are you mad that I'm not? If it's for me, it's going to be for me, right? People, the designers already have an idea of what they're looking for,
Right.
the walks that they want, the attitudes that they want, what's going to fit the person that they asked for in the first place. So if it's for me, it's for me. But if I hear about an opportunity, yes, I'm going to reshare it. Yes, I'm going to tag some other women in it because I can't reach everybody. I don't know everybody.
Right.
Pure romance now, and somebody else was like, "Well, you know that lady is doing pure romance, so why are you promoting? Why you push out
Mm-hmm.
the same women she know? Do you know how many people there are in the world? We sell a variety of things. So why would I not share or push out? And, you know, at some point, I just put under construction on my Instagram page and on page, and I was like, okay, maybe I do need to think about what I'm posting because I do post a lot, and it be about everything. But I can't not post it. I'm like, there's information and resources that are needed, and I don't know everybody's need. I don't know everybody's passion or their purpose, but like if I see something and I just feel like I should share this, and sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm going to share this. Anyway, you know, I have moments sometimes, like I put up a boudoir picture a while ago, and you know, my dad on Facebook, and he's a minister. And he was telling them, he was like, "I always see Annette stuff. She half naked. And I was like, what? I'm not half naked nowhere." But I forgot about that picture. But it's out there. But it was, I did that shoot at a time where I was feeling better. Like I have always felt like I was fat, overweight, too dark, too big, too like to be posting in a bathing suit, in a bikini, in the some boudoir shoot. So when I got to a point where I'm like, all my flaws and all, me. I am good with me. There are so many people out here ready to tear you down. If you yourself do not have the heart to be able to take it. I've had people say things that I feel like, is it meant? Are you trying to hurt? Or you know?
Oh yes. Because everybody, your thing says to wear your crown. Everybody don't know how to help you to adjust your crown, but some people knock your crown on the ground if they can. But you have to understand that when there's elevation, there's separation, and everybody can't go with you. And so you have to get to the place where you like the horse with blinders on, that you're so focused on what it is that you're called to do that the distractions don't get you anymore, because there are people who are placed in your life to sabotage what it is that you have to do. They're there to delay you. They're there to distract you, but you have got to get to that place where your blinders are on to the point where, okay, God is going to send you people going to help you. Sister, your crown crooked. Let me help you.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, and even if it get knocked down, that's just, sister, let me help you clean that up and put it back on, because we got you let your haters be your motivators. It's my thing. You know, because you gotta have haters. It don't matter what you do, and look at me, bald. And when I had alopecia, lost my hair, it's been probably about 4 years now that I've been completely bald. But I have women say, you're gonna have to wear makeup, you're gonna have to wear accessories, you're gonna have to do this. And that's why I was joking with you this morning, say I ain't have time to put no face on. Normally, you know, it is what it is. This is me. and to be authentically me and to embrace my baldness, to embrace fully who I am made to be. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And there is not a person out there that can tell me otherwise, because whenever everything that God made, he said it was good. He didn't say it was all right. It was good. So me and my flaws and all is still good. So you have got to get to that place where your purpose and your plan, man has nothing to do with it. And if you have to have selective hearing as well.
Yeah, well, the good thing is I definitely do.
Yeah, selective hearing is good. It'll help you survive some of the hits that are put out there, because people, you know, the reason why you have the haters is because they wish they could. They wish they were bold enough. They wish they had the encouragement, the courage to do what it is. They want to be you. And because they want to be you and they don't have, they don't feel like, putting themselves out there, that so they'll tear you down. It's that crab mentality, that we have, especially as women. We don't know how to elevate each other. We could pull each other down, but we don't know how to elevate each other. We don't know how to say, okay, you know what, sister, I got that flaw too. And I went through that same thing too, because it shows a moment of weakness, but my weakness is my strength. And so when I know that my weakness is my strength, then I don't have no problem with sharing with another sister and say, you know what, this is what I went through, but guess what, I'm okay. Because we don't want to say we're okay. We'll say, no, I'm good, but I'm broke up in the inside. I'm good, but I'm about to commit suicide. I'm good, I'm about to lose my mind because I'm depressed and stressed. But instead of saying, you know what, I'm not okay. And it's okay to say I'm not okay, because somebody out there got the encouragement and the words that you need to lift you up out of that pit, so you don't have to be in a place of darkness. So yeah. And like you say, you like to talk, I like to talk too.
Wow, you have spoken a word today, birth out of darkness.
Yes,
I am certain is fire. So
it's got everything in there. It's not your typical book. I didn't want it to be a biography. Like I said, I share some stories about my life, and everything in there is true. I have some poetry incorporated in it. I have some prayers, and I have some teaching points. So even when I'm telling my story, I don't want people to be so focused on what happened to me that they don't get what I got out of it. And so I wanted to, combine all of that in that book. And I am so blessed that the feedback has been phenomenal. And I'm just thankful for the obedience, because, like it says, obedience is better than sacrifice, but you got to be willing to sacrifice. You got to be willing to say, you know what, I'm going to give you my story. Mind you, I gave you crumbs. I didn't give you meat, because everybody can't handle the meat. So I gave you little crumbs. So yeah. And so everybody's asking, is there going to be a sequel? I thought it was going to be a one hit and done, but I think it's going to have to be a sequel. And I'm just being prayerful on that. I also have 2 children's books coming out in March. Michaela Meets Grace, and Shaquille Meets Jacob. It's about 2 little kids that has alopecia, and their birthday wish is that they wanted God to send them somebody that looked like them. Because if I'm struggling at my adult age with losing my hair, and there are kids out there with alopecia, I want the parents to be able to have a story where they can talk to them about the fact that they lost their hair, because that's a major thing for us, especially as women. When your crown is gone, you feel like you can't, that's your identity, but it's not. It's like India Ari said, I am not my hair. And when you realize that your hair is just your accessory, then you're able to go forth and do what it is that you have to do. You see what I'm saying? So I embraced it. And when I'm telling you, when I went through that process, and I went to that barber and made the decision to cut all my hair off, because I had dreads for like 10 years. And it just got to the point where, you know what, I'm tired of hiding. And I had to cut it all off. And when he turned me around and I looked at that mirror, I said, I was born to be bald. And I've been walking in that thing ever since.
I absolutely loved your cover. Like, I was like, oh my, and I change my hair all the time. Like, I don't know if you saw, my hair is red now. 50 million times. And they was like, your hair gonna fall out. And I was like, I'm gonna be bald again. I'm gonna have to start all over.
That's it. That's
Start
it.
all over. And I recently posted like some pictures about just about like me and my hair, because that is a struggle for most of us
Yes.
today anyway.
Mm-hmm.
How do we get this fabulous book? Like, where do we get it from?
It's on all the online book sites. You can go on Amazon, Walmart. It's up and coming to Target. It's not quite in Target yet. Barnes and Nobles, Books A Million. That's just some of the major platforms. And when you go on, you're going to see a lot of the ebook and the Nook, but make sure that you click on the format so you can see it's offered in the ebook, paperback, and the hardback. And
Okay.
I'm also having a book release party coming up March 27th. I'm up here in Raleigh, North Carolina. I've been posting that on my social media where you'll be able to come and do a drive-through because I have inspirational apparel that's associated with the book. I have on one of them. I don't know if you can see it.
With the plan of God always, is this surprises? Surprise, the plot of the enemy.
I always see plots of the enemy.
Yes. And I see your face in the center of that.
Yes, I am my logo. I am my brand.
Nice. I love that. Well, you look, I am speechless. Like, you have birthed out of the darkness. I feel like you gave us a tidbit today without giving away the cow. If you guys did not feel that share, like, you need to listen again. I need you. I'm gonna need you to rewatch and to purchase that book. So, please, Bertrille Williams, look, thank you so much for gracing us with your book, with an opportunity to share what you do, why you do it, and how it connects to our women and how it can empower our queens. Sounds amazing. Y'all already know I'm going to get mine. I gotta get mine. Because when she first started talking, I'm over here like, and that don't shout on the camera, Lord. Just don't, because we're gonna have to re-record. Actually, we're not gonna re-record because you already know what it is. You know what it is. But I am excited about your book. You definitely spoke some life into me today.
Amen.
I receive it, and I am working on being obedient.
Hey, but you know, you don't have a choice though, because when he give it to you, you're gonna do it the easy way or the hard way. But either way, you're gonna do it. I opted for I did the struggle, I did the fight, I did all of that. And it's like the songwriter for Shekinah Glory says, yes, that song, yes. And I want you to go back and listen to that. But it said, if I told you everything that was required of you, would you have still said yes? I've been like, maybe, I don't know, let's go back and negotiate this thing. But when you fully give him a yes, the doors will open so quickly that you won't even have a time to gather your thoughts and gather yourself. Because when you fully embrace that yes, the windows of heaven really opens up to you. Because I'm telling you, I started this process in March of last year, finished the book in July, released the pre-orders in November. The book just came out in December. And when I say God is like this, he is like that. And then even in the midst of that is the second and third book came. And then I'm like, okay, 3 books at one time. He's like, yeah, this is what I've been waiting for. So I encourage every woman out there, every man out there, birth what's in your belly, because it's not for you. Everything that we're going through is for somebody else. It's not about those 3 little pigs I like to call me, myself, and I. It's not about you. It's about what's connected to you. And when you start really giving and encouraging people, and like you said, straightening each other's crown, because men have crowns too, and they need to be straightened sometimes too. And so when you encourage somebody, it's so much that you're going to get out of that, because our lives are intertwined and tied together. When I make it, you make it. When you make it, I make it. And so we have to learn how to pull each other out of that pit. and stop walking by and hearing our brothers and sisters screaming and not giving them a hand. And I know you didn't, I didn't mean to put that closure on there, but.
That was perfect. That was perfect. I could not have done it any better. Thank you so much.
Oh, can I plug my social media? So if you want to follow me, I am on IG and Facebook. On Facebook under my government name, Bertrille Williams. Also, Birth Out of Darkness on my social media for IG and Facebook is Birth Out of Darkness. And I'm also under my personal page, Favorite, the number 4, this, on Instagram. I sometimes go on Twitter, but most of the time I'm on IG or Facebook.
Favorite for this?
Yeah, Favorite with the number 4, this.
Okay. So we will put the links below. Please, if you've watched the video, even if you haven't watched this video, make sure you use the links below to check out this phenomenal author, Bertrille Williams. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. It was a blessing.